New all-time highs possibly on deck here as the S&P has a monster rally today, followed by the triple Qs managing to be up 1.77. Are we into some resistance with a call wall? We'll take a look at that and much more. It's Monday, August 3rd, 2026, and we did not crash from the carry trade unwind that happened over the weekend. US dollar yen down here 40 basis points. So it was defended, but I talked about this 2 months ago, and I said, look, they've made this very clear that they are, in fact, they've come out and said this, that they're going to, work with the United States to coordinate a unwind, right? And what that word means is don't worry about it, essentially. Um, they've, we know Uncle Scott went in there and he sold euros, right? So that's what they did. And, they tapped, Japan tapped the IMF, right? The International Repo Facility. So they didn't have to sell treasuries, right? And that is obviously, taking yields down. So the dollar yen's going down here, and so are treasuries. So again, this was a big thing that people thought the market was going to crash on. And, I said very adamantly, this is not going to, it's not how it's going to work out. And then we also had a taco trade over the weekend too, and that helped the markets go higher as well. Oil getting hammered here. It is off the lows. I talked about this in our morning show, What's Moving Markets on Carnivore Trades. Link to that is join us every morning at 8:45. Get these trades before they happen. But we talked about this level here at 79. I said, watch for a little sweep of that. And that could be a little bit of a trade today. And it was. I didn't make as much on it. I think I only made 25 cents or so. I was just kind of scalping it. I don't trust oil here right now. It did rebound to, a little, around that $80 handle. But I don't trust oil here this week, and I'll tell you why. USO here just, it looks like it can go easily to 115. So, it's kind of simple there. And if we look at Wednesday, you do have a little bit of it may rebound to 125. There was a put wall at 120, which coincided with the low of the day. Not coincidentally, as you can see right there in the morning, right? Little sweep of that, then we went up. But I don't really love it. I do think it wants to inch lower a little bit this week. As far as the market is concerned, S&P acting pretty well. We are above 7,600. There is a call wall up there. I said in the morning show, I'm not sure. I think that might be about it. Might be in a tight range this week, but that is starting to change. And it's changing even as soon as tomorrow. So we could see possibly some continuation here. I know that the NASDAQ, I know we want semiconductors to catch up, but they did turn around a little bit today. But I just got to go with the data until it's proven otherwise here. And we're starting to see 7630 come in on the cash S&P, and on the triple Qs, we're seeing above 700. So originally it looked like 700 was kind of the call wall for the week. But now we're starting to see the dealer buy that, right? So they're not selling there, they're buying, and that can take us up here. And even for Friday, we're starting to see that change a little bit. So what I would want to see as a bull is this this GEX fall convert to open interest tomorrow at 710, right? So those are going to be key numbers for us. If we take a look at the cash S&P there as well, there you go. It's the 7650 there. I know it might be a little hard to see, but it's 7650 there. And so we want to see that convert if we're bulls. So I would not fight this right now, right? You have from a technical standpoint, this is an ascending triangle, right? Higher lows, equal highs, essentially. A nasty trap, right? A nasty trap. A lot of people are expecting the carry trade meltdown of the weekend, expecting oil to go to 1 million over the weekend, and they're getting squeezed here. So I would not fight it right now. That doesn't mean we can't pull out and back and stall out at 7,600, but I just don't see the risk reward here with higher lows, and considering that beautiful trap that we got late last week. So I actually trimmed off some TQQQ today. We played SOXL actually this morning in the trading room. And by the way, the reason why that is take a look at this. Look at this pattern. So we gapped down into the May 19th pivot. And then not only that, but you got right on at 618. That's just right on the money there. So I'm still holding a runner in SOXL, absolutely knocking it out of the park lately with the trading room, which you can come join. You should, because then you can get the entry exit in real time instead of just relying on these videos, because sometimes they change. But nonetheless, very nice day for the market here. You can't complain. Like breadth here at 333. I mean, the only minor complaint I would say is that semis are not as strong, but they're still up and they held where they needed to hold. Cloud very strong as well. Microsoft up 5. I mean, I mean, this is Microsoft we're talking about, right? That's up 100 points now in 3 days. So we're looking at, if I can type that in right, 20%, 20% on Microsoft in 3 days here. Or sorry, 390. So I did that wrong. Oh, it's up even more than that. 25%. Yeah, 25.6. Incredible move. We have Palantir after the bell. We talked about this as well this morning on the morning show. And it looks like if that gets something going, it's gonna have to get over the hump at 130. But if it can get something going, this can get up to 150. You just want to see 120 hold on any sort of dip. So PLTR will be interesting. ScamX, I mean SpaceX will be interesting at $100, but I'm not seeing. I haven't seen the end of the line on this yet. And if I miss the low, that's fine. I don't care. There's a million other trades out there, but I'm not going to buy something when I need to see the last put wall be definitively the last one. And right now it could go to 90 if it gets down there. And I think since the lockout ends after earnings, they could squeeze. They could maybe get some people who've been holding it to kind of panic sell a little bit. And maybe get it down there. That's maybe I would look to buy if it dumps out after that. But yeah, what a disaster. Oracle also having a nice day. We took some gains on this one as well, up 9%. Really strong here for cloud, like I said. And Palantir will obviously move the tape a little bit. Microsoft had a huge day. Mags also had a huge day too. What a move there, up 4%. Take a look at this. Sorry, I didn't mean to go to the monthly there, but the weekly. There we go. Beautiful. So nice action. So anyway, the key move here for the bulls is turn 755 into support on SPY. And then, I mean, right now you're at 7,600. So, I mean, it's hard to say to turn it into support. We're only 7 points above, but, let's just say 75.50 SPX. If we can turn that into support. And then obviously, 76 after that. The Qs, you want to get definitively above 700 here, but, it's not going to be easy, but, it's had a nice move. And what I like here about NQ is, again, beautiful 50% fib retrace. We can get rid of this now for right now. And sorry, I don't like that. I got to fix that. I've been lazy about it, but there is a way to fix it, but, and yeah. So looking at an NQ here, we did clear this. There we go. We cleared this spot, 28.5, right? So it is above that. Next shelf is 29.3. That's probably going to be 7. Yeah, that's going to be 710, right? We talked about that level. Big test there. But so far, if this just, wants to, what's to say it doesn't just go back up there to 720, 725 even, if depending on how fast. So anyway, Russell here strong, nice possible breakout. Diamond strong. New all-time high close right there on the Dow, or it was about to be. RSP, so equal weight, acting well. QQQE, about to reclaim the 50-day. Even the composite, right? That's basically what the QQQE is. Down into the 50-day. There's some supply there, don't get me wrong, but a good day. SMH, we'll see if we can crack through this topside trend line. There's the SOX. IGV, what a move. Higher lows the whole way. And boy, Ken Griffin, he really convinced everybody that this software was done. INTU, CRM, Adobe, Microsoft, all having really strong months of July, which is what they're supposed to do, tech-wise, right? But semis did not. And he owns a lot of them now, too, thanks to, what's his nuts? Transports here up 66 basis points, holding the 100-day. TLT, not the greatest, but it's flattish. So I still don't really have anything there on TLT. Sorry, I know everybody's asking me about it. I just don't have it right now. XHB up $2.50. IYR flat to positive. XLF at new all-time highs. This is not indicative of a carry trade unwind when you have banks at new all-time highs, and even regional banks are right there, almost there. You know, spreads are holding up too. But anyway, yeah, oil, I mentioned briefly. I don't love it, right? Anybody who bought here last week, panic bought into the weekend, they got trapped. And now anybody who bought here got panic trapped and buy. There was all that stuff going around Friday. Oh my God, what about this big move? If somebody knows something, like somebody got wrecked. Somebody got lied to, clearly. But yeah, possible lower low here, lower high combo on crude. It's hanging on by a thread. 115 is put support, like I said, on USO for this week. XLE, however, not the worst, right? Still holding up. XOP and OIH, kind of nothing going on there as well. Dollar obviously got hit, but it did come back. So it went to 99.50. We talked about that level and it held. But you know, weekly close will tell us a lot more on this, because that could be a failed breakout. And then we have gold, just can't stop stinking up the joint. I mean, it's pumping right now. It looks like it's up, but it's really not. There is a massive move coming in this, though. I mean, I haven't seen gold do this in a like right here. That was the last time it was this tight. And I know it looks like a bear flag, but I'm starting to think now, I'm not going to front run it, but I'm starting to think now this might fail and go up, because it's been like sellers. Okay, like how much longer do you need to bear flag for? Look how tight this is. Like they should have been able to break it down by now. And same thing with silver. There's a massive move coming. There's PL and PA. And the data center ETF, I mean, copper, you know, get a little bull in sidebar and it's floating back up there. So copper back up near the highs. Lastly, Bitcoin had an interesting day. It was really weak this morning, and then it reversed as soon as the 9:30 open. So you can see right there, right at 9:30, boom, took off. Kramer apparently says he's sold all his, so that'll be interesting. But this wedge here is getting really tight. You might ask me, what the hell is this? Like, well, it was an inverse head and shoulder neckline, so I know it's sloppy and it's traded through it a bunch of times, but that's what I'm drawing it off of. And it's held up, so I'll give it the benefit of the doubt for now. But let's see if we can break through this here. If not, it's over. Give up. So anyway, market's holding up pretty well. Yeah, strong breadth. You know, I was told that we talked about this last week too. Look at the McClellan on that sell. We had a higher low. So everybody wants to complain about the breadth, but I still don't see it. But yeah, it's acting well. Might get a little continuation tomorrow, maybe 76.30 on SPX, but probably a quieter day though if it is. So anyways, guys, we'll wrap it up here. You guys take care. Don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. Join the trading room. Join the swing trade alerts. Absolutely knocking it out of the park. We'll see you guys all tomorrow.